Allegedly, for somewhere between 3,500 and 5,000 years, Stonehenge has stood as one of the world's greatest head scratches. It is England and the world's most famous Neolithic landmark. Mystery shrouds this monument to this day, and even the scientists and archaeologists admit that there are more questions than answers. Some of the most common and obvious questions are who built it and why? And how did ancient primitive people transport and arrange these massive stones with such precision? In this video, we look into the mysteries, outlandish myths, and cutting edge theories surrounding this iconic monument. And keep watching as we also reveal astonishing footage that could throw all the questions and answers way up in the air. Have they lied to us all this time again? What's been discovered and revealed is jaw-dropping and pure hidden madness. Before we do anything, let's break down what we do know. Stonehenge sits in Wiltshire, England, Salisbury Plain, Wiltshire, England to be precise, and they say it dates back to around 3,500 to 5,000 BC. Until recently, it was thought to consist of two main types of stones: the larger stones, saracens, some weighing up to 30 tons, and the smaller, slightly lighter in weight blue stones. And we're also told the blue stones were transported over 150 miles away from Wales. And let's face it, logistics of moving these stones without modern technology is mind-boggling. It's as puzzling as the Giza pyramids transportation. Some theorists suggest sledges on rollers pulled by aurochs, an extinct huge bull-like animal that roamed Europe until the 17th century. These bulls are massive and very, very strong, but we still don't have any definitive proof. It's just theories. Also, quite recently, archaeologists now say that the altar stone comes from way up north in Scotland, an even bigger logistical feat. If I'm honest, Stonehenge confuses me. Take a look at these two layouts. The one on the left is how they were originally discovered many moons ago, and the one on the right is how they assume it would have been when it was first built. This is no proof, just a massive assumption. I'm not here to rain on any parade, but when talking of important Neolithic structures relating to our history, surely proof is what's needed before you start telling or selling it to the public. It has also been restored on numerous occasions, most notably in 1958, but I'll go into that later on in the video. Let's have a look at the theories from the bizarre to the feasible. Some think it could be an alien landing pad, although possible, it's only a very minute chance in my honest opinion, but who knows, as recently an unknown spheroid relating to Stonehenge was spotted over Colombia by two different independent eyewitnesses. The metallic sphere hovers for several hours before landing in a nearby woodland. This isn't science fiction, this is real. It's being called the boogosphere. It has no visible propulsion, and strangely, it keeps changing weight and temperature without anything happening to it. 1 minute they weigh it at 4.5 pounds, and then without knowing, it changes to 22 pounds. And its temperature fluctuates from 24 degrees to 33 degrees. It has no visible seams, and it's covered in an unknown language. What does this have to do with Stonehenge? Well, the sphere was passed to a professor in Mexico to study. He put the object through a CT scan, and what they found was confusing yet amazing. The scan revealed a pattern not dissimilar to some of the world's Neolithic stone circles, including Stonehenge. Does this give credence to Stonehenge being a landing site, or at least a monument to what the Neolithic peoples understood? Not sure. Others think it's either a dwelling or a meeting place for giants of the time. But like the alien theory, that's probably going a bit too far also, but I'm certainly not dismissing it entirely. Was it a temple? Some religious temple that folk of the time flocked to? Bearing in mind that 7,000 years ago, the landscape was probably a bit different. There were more trees, more forests. Salisbury Plain wasn't as open and remote as it is now. Would they build a religious building so far away from their villages? The reason why it's called Stonehenge is because the word henge is a monument with a ringed ditch around the outside. This is ritualistic and contains remains of both human and animal, but surprisingly, no bones of the massive auroch bull. But did these people build Stonehenge as a burial ground and a religious gathering site? A definite possibility for sure. One of the most accepted theories of why it was built is that Stonehenge was an ancient astronomical observatory or a calendar. The heel stone, a sarsen stone that stands outside the stone circle, marks the place on the horizon where the summer solstice sunrise appears, and when viewed from the centre of the stone circle, the alignment with solstices suggests a deep understanding of the stars, the sun, and the whole astrological concept. That all sounds plausible until you factor in the restorations. The first well known restoration began just past the 20th century millennium, somewhere around 1909 to 1919. It was a bit of a disaster, with smaller stones going missing and folk moving the stones around without recording their original standings. In all, a total of 67 stones are thought to be missing. In 1958, a massive restoration project was granted the go ahead. The massive stones were taken away to be restored. Holes were dug, cement was added, and some of the stones were even moved from their original location within the circle. I find this astounding. An ancient stone circle being tampered with and rearranged to fit a narrative. To me, that's criminal. It also means that from that period onwards, well, actually, several other smaller restorations took place in the 1930s too. But my point is, from now on, any alignment to the stars, any figuration of the stone circle, etc., is now pure speculation. With my total skeptic head on, I'm thinking that during the late 50s and the early 60s, technology was beginning to advance rapidly. Were they scared that maybe the stones weren't what they had been depicting, and worried that folk would now find this out? During this restoration, they actually took most of the stones away to be cleaned, took them away. That's crazy. They also placed previous toppled stones into cement filled holes, and they shuffled the site to make it more tourist worthy. Basically, its ancient lore had gone, never to be seen again. They can now market the site on pure speculation, not absolute proof, and hope everyone accepts their narrative. And they do. And as with every site with a history, the World Heritage got involved, of which Stonehenge is not only owned by the Crown, but it is now a World Heritage Site, and the public can only see it from afar. Oh, there's a souvenir shop and a viewing centre if you want to pay. But walking up to the stones, as I did on many occasions on school trips when I was a young lad, forget it. That is now for the worthy only. Anyway, back to the stones themselves. The human remains found nearby indicate ritualistic burials. Some believe the blue stones have healing properties. When struck, it is said that blue stone causes ultrasonic frequencies. Could this be for healing broken bones? This drew pilgrims from across Europe and still does. Not only the blue stones, but it is now known that the placement of the stones created unique acoustic properties. So was it designed for sonic rituals? If it was centered around sound and healing, you can only imagine the eerie vibes the place must have given off back in the ancient times, thus attracting more and more to it. Even with today's technology, replicating Stonehenge would be a challenge. How did Neolithic people achieve such precision? Modern experiments show that with enough manpower and wooden tracks, moving the stones is possible. But it would have taken years upon years of coordination, lots of manpower, and logistical nous. This is where I start to get confused, because every time they are questioned about different aspects of Stonehenge, a new theory comes out to answer it. But quickly, each theory is made to be gospel truth, and it certainly isn't. The precision of the alignments do suggest advanced knowledge, if indeed the alignments are true and made by Neolithic peoples and not during the restorations. In 2002, Stonehenge was completely shut off from the public. Now only certain special viewings were allowed. They say due to vandalism. But was that the real reason? Or are we getting too wise? Which takes me on to Barack Obama's visit of 2014. Of course, this very important man, unlike you or I, got to walk among the stones. But this, unbeknown to them, came at a cost. It literally exposed Stonehenge for what it really is. Tell me, what is this stone? Why is there some kind of metal inner core to this stone? Does this truly show what these stones really are? Metal with a false stone casing? Is that how the originals were? Or were the original stones, like others, taken away during the 1958 restoration and replaced by these fakes? And what would be the purpose of them doing that? Were the original stones really sacred and full of powers we don't know about? And was this to hide them from us? Were the originals truly full of healing properties? See, the thing is, I doubt we will ever know. The whole site has changed, and in my eyes, it means absolutely nothing now, apart from a site that once housed a mysterious ancient monument from our past and is now hidden. I truly believe that, just like other sites around the world, including the Easter Island heads, or heads and bodies if you've seen my previous video on Rapa Nui, that these ancient sites hold keys to our past, keys that the elites of this world don't want you to see. Many believe that Stonehenge is pure fake. Some think it was actually built in 1958, not restored, but I disagree. I just think it has been changed, hidden, cruelly taken from us. Some folk who can feel energy, who can detect energy, say that the Avebury stones, which are just a stone's throw away from Stonehenge and have never been tampered with, or moved, or cleaned, give off an energy that is second to none. But when the same people visit Stonehenge with the same beliefs and the same equipment, they tell us that it is dead. Stonehenge has no energy, no life. Their dowsing rods, etc., pick up nothing around Stonehenge. The powers that be have destroyed what was once there, and it will never return. We will probably never know the true reason or existence of Stonehenge. Once again, history erased. Plus, you have to ask, why was the site abandoned by the Neolithic people? Had it served its purpose and just left to ruin? Was there a massive event that either wiped out the peoples or changed their thinking or beliefs? Just like the Easter Island heads, it seems like they were abandoned almost overnight. In my opinion, when you research history, something happened years upon years upon years ago, and we just don't know what. But it was major, and now we can only theorize what went on at these places. There are tons of theories relating to Stonehenge to this day, from the Druids and their worships of the stones and the solstice alignments, from the bizarre theories of alien landing pads to meeting places for giants, an ancient healing centre with the circle's acoustic properties, which has been proven, by the way. Some rocks sound like bells when they are hit. Not sure about the stones of Stonehenge because they have been replaced conveniently. Or could it be just a bunch of rocks on the ground found on Salisbury Plain in the past and turned into some important Neolithic site for profit? Sadly, we'll never know. But you be the judge. Thanks for watching again. What do you reckon Stonehenge is then? Just a pile of rocks? Or is there something to them? Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you've actually visited it lately as well, because I haven't. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.